Hey, we are back with Elysian Road, going into part 2 of today's episode. And, honestly, let's start with that scene that you posited, David. Because that sounds like it's something that would happen before you guys went off and, did all your shopping. Or at least before you guys, all split up from each other. Whether or not you did some of the shopping together, I don't know. But let's talk about that first, actually. What does that shopping expedition actually look like? It sounds like a bunch of you are getting, custom-made stuff, so I assume you guys, split up and go places?
We're going to be here for a hot minute, probably.
Right. Right, I assume that's what's happening, you're just splitting up? Yeah. I'm just making sure there's no objections.
To go shopping? That's what
to go shopping, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Who's taking anyone with them? So one thing I know for sure is Till is going to ask to go with you, Fergus. And you can tell he's he wants to talk to you about something, but he hasn't brought it up yet, but he just tries to... I don't know where you're... you probably were going to go figure out ship mod stuff anyway, right? Yourself, to add some stuff. So let's say on your way, he's going to talk to you on your way to go do ship stuff at the very least. But other than that, I don't know if anyone has brought anyone along. Ziva probably goes with someone.
The places I'm going and the places that Dylan's going to have to go for her melee weapons are probably pretty similar.
Yeah.
And we should probably all accompany Evelyn on her trip to the eccentric psychic precogs mansion.
Does Evelyn tell anyone about that?
Yeah.
Right. That sounds like the sort of
what
thing.
What are you going to do with $4 million? And you're like, I found this listing for a psychic mech. I'm going to go. And we'll probably be like,
Evelyn could also just take some soldiers with her. Some of the soldiers that she commands.
Yeah, I suppose. They might just get shot at then. But
isn't it more fun to have red shirts on a mission like that than characters you could possibly die?
He's a precog, so I guess I'll know why you're there.
Exactly, yeah. What do you think, Connor?
No, I don't think I tell anybody. Okay. How about I tell people about it just so that we don't have to all sit around while I have a conversation?
I still don't know if anyone would go with you. It's up to them, I guess. But
if he waited for us to be done, I was just thinking it'd be fun to have that scene with everybody, but we don't have to. But I am looking forward to seeing two precogs haggle with each other because we can both see what the end of the deal looks like.
Yeah.
That's gonna be.
They just have to push hard enough to get the future to change. Yeah. I don't know. I just in all of my views of that scene, I just don't picture anyone else there with Evelyn. It just doesn't seem like how that scene would go.
That's
right. That does that make sense to you, Connor? That's what I'm feeling for that. That just sort of seems like the sort of thing that Evelyn would go do by herself.
It does.
Yeah.
I wasn't even gonna try to justify it. I was just gonna.
Yeah. just go by yourself. Yeah.
No, I was gonna say. Yeah, no, she invites other people and not try to justify.
Yeah. I don't personally think that's what Evelyn would do.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But
because I'm also imagining this as a sort of Cantarius goes to the old man scene in season 1 of Chrome Inquisitors as well, right? Evelyn has a talk with another precog, and it's going to be old man who's been a precog for his whole life, and I'm curious about that conversation, and the conversation would be very different if anyone else was there. I feel. So storytelling wise, I just think that would be my preference, and I think it would make sense for Evelyn to do so.
Yeah, that's fine.
Cool. But let's go ahead and start with Ode and Fergus. So Ode wanted to ask Fergus something. So everybody's heading off in their own directions on the planet. We see, the Void's Grace has touched down. I assume, the planet or the ship you bought for the all the soldiers, the Fiascos and et al. Is in orbit right now, or in a dock maybe. It's probably in a shipyard actually getting fitted for various things that they want to do with it. They're off doing that stuff, and so we just see the Void's Grace and the crew members getting off one by one to go on their various shopping expeditions. And I assume Ziva's probably going with Dylan wherever she's going. So Dylan and Ziva walk off, and Ode's probably going to follow them, but first he's going to, pull Fergus aside, I assume, and say something. Yeah. What does that look like?
I'll walk over and be like, "Hey, Fergus, you got a minute?"
What's up?
So I've got all this money, and like, I mean, for once, I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with all of it. So, I mean, you're good with computers and stuff. Is there a way I can put this in an account where some sentient robot won't roll over and just like drain it all? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, that's easy.
Oh, cool. Awesome. Great. Yeah. Could you do that?
Oh yeah, for my 50% maintenance charge fee, of course.
You want 50 cents? Okay, yeah, sure.
No, I want 50% of the money you're putting in the bank.
Intentionally missed it.
I make him a off universe account.
Yeah.
It's in a dimensional pocket. Literally.
Well, I think we already joked about this last time, right? It was like there's like an offshore account in a different sector that people still have access to, even though they haven't gone there because they can't actually get there anymore.
Yeah.
I think that's canon because that's fun.
Great. Do we need to roll for that or anything, or does that just happen?
Yeah. Let's roll for it. It's not gonna be super difficult.
Okay.
Fergus is great at it, but just in case something goes catastrophically wrong, that might be interesting.
Yeah.
So Fergus, go and make a program roll for me, and we'll see you. Yeah, there. Yeah, that's fine. 13.
Even I can get back into it.
How much money are you putting in there?
I better not lose this password, I guess.
Yeah.
How much do I have? 180,000 credits. No, sorry, 1,800,000.
I was gonna say, I was like, that's an awful low amount of credits to put in an offshore bank account.
No, yeah, I read the number wrong. All right, so I'll just delete 1,800,000 credits if you want to dump those into the. I guess I'll put that in my notes section. Let's see. 1,800,000. How many zeros is that? There we go.
Is that the whole conversation?
No.
Okay.
In off universe account. All right. Yeah. Well, that was surprisingly easy. Okay, so I don't know if this will be any harder, but I need to send a message to someone, but I need it to not be. It can't lead back to me or anything like that. Yeah. Can you do that? I don't really know how the exchange does that, but yeah.
I mean, yeah, it shouldn't be too hard.
Yeah, it's really important that if we run into the robot guy, like this would be worse than if he stole 100 or 1,800,000 credits from me. So don't. Yeah, I gotta make sure this doesn't get stolen like my search history did last time.
And all your other very descriptive messages that may or may not have existed.
Yeah, well, the messages are bad enough, but I mean, I hadn't sent those yet for that exact concern. But this one, I need to actually send this one.
Should I roll another one, Caleb? Or
yeah, I think so. Yeah, this is a very different thing you're trying to do. And so, I mean, do you actually know where you're sending it?
I think he at least has somewhere to send it. I don't know necessarily if
I think that makes sense, right? There's probably some PO box somewhere in proverbial PO box that you could send it to, though it's not obviously the where they are.
Right. Well, so I think that he may even in my own mind, I was thinking he knew where they were, but not, if they're still there. Like, so he would have known where they went into hiding at, but he wouldn't have known. Yeah,
they probably were moved. They might have been moved around. They're basically in witness protection at this point, more or less.
Right. So he's sending it to a place that he's pretty sure they can get it, but he doesn't know what's going on. Yeah.
And so the goal with this, Fergus, is to, make sure it's not intercepted by anyone and actually gets there safe and sound.
It'd probably also need to be encrypted in a way that, like, if somebody just looked at their email, they couldn't just open it.
Exactly. I encrypt it with my brainwaves.
You could try to plug in. You could try to plug in the Evangelia helmet, but I feel like that might cause more problems than it solves. So
no, it's the encryption is my brain. That's what the encryption is. I'm not sending it with my brain. That's just the encryption.
But then only you'll be able to open it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that doesn't
They
help
need to
any.
open it.
I have to send them the code in another coded message.
Send your brainwave.
Sure, yeah. Whoever you do it. Yeah, go ahead, man. So 11, I mean,
Oof.
you're working against the AI, right? I don't think
Mhm.
11's going to cut it. But you have a stiletto charge, so if you want to, you can.
Well, do I know the contents of the message, or do you tell me not to read them?
I mean, the contents of the message is literally just money and the password of the account you made. Like, it's the password, and then like, this is how much money is in it. You should use this.
Yeah.
That's probably like weirdly not personal in a way that I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he'll tell you that, like, it doesn't matter if you know it, but there isn't like much information in it.
I might have to spend a stiletto shard.
Because like, it's not even that the AI would steal the money. Like, I don't think he cares, but
Yeah.
he would be able to track.
It's where I'm sending it to,
Yeah,
and the
exactly.
fact that I sent it there.
Yep,
That's the
it would
problem.
expose some stuff.
Yeah, because of the way that this is like formatted and all that, and whatchamacallit, I don't know if I'll be able to do it, but I could use a stiletto charge, I guess. But I only have 4 left. That's up to you.
I mean, how much are those? I have a lot of money that I don't have anything to do with.
Well, let's just say with 4 million, I could buy 0.
Yeah.
That seems unreasonable.
Yeah, they're pretty rare.
Oh, well,
Your account's safe, but if I send it, I don't think I'll be able to keep it safe.
is there somewhere is there something we can do to make that more likely to succeed? Do you have like a better computer or something?
I hand you a flash drive. I'm like, you could literally pay someone to hand deliver that, but it'll take a while to get there.
I think that, yeah.
You can hand deliver a hard copy. Can't hack that.
Well,
That's true. Yeah.
Quantum
Put it on a
hacking is
floppy
a thing.
disk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait a minute. He can planet hack or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
What was it called? What did you
Quantum
call it?
hacking.
Yeah, he can quantum hack it. And I break the flash drive and then I hand you a floppy disk.
Yeah. But if I'm going to hand deliver it, I'll probably just do it myself. I think that might be the safest thing to do. You know, maybe I should do that anyways. Okay. Well, thanks, Fergus. I appreciate it. Yeah. Where are you going, by the way? What are you going to do with all of that money besides buy stiletto charges? Apparently 4 million isn't enough for that.
I'm going to buy some awesome space armor. That's what I'm going to do.
Space armor. That sounds cool.
Farmer.
Sparmer, yes.
Farmer. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a huge list, but I don't think they're going to have a lot of it here. So I'll just see what I can get.
I love to think that, I mean, this is what exactly is happening. It's amusing to me to think of the fact that a bunch of teenagers are just walking around a military zone, like just like trying to buy a bunch of stuff like this. Yeah.
We're going to get robbed. So many people are going to attempt to rob us.
I don't even think that's true, right? Because this is literally like Sparta. Like sci-fi Camino Sparta. So like I think there's so much discipline here that like they wouldn't put up with that. But it would be the challenge of actually convincing them that you could buy military grade stuff anyway in the first place.
Right.
But I feel like I feel like they're mercenaries, so they're unscrupulous enough that I don't know if they'd actually care that much. Like if you're blowing them millions of credits, I don't think they're gonna care.
Yeah. Now, you said that the planet had the mercenaries tag. Are they all Order of the Dust here?
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I don't know why I was under the impression it was a bunch of them.
No, yeah. So I think in the long distant past, this was like a military world, and that's all it was, right? It was literally made to just be a military outpost, and this was a long. So basically, whatever military organization or splinter group that formed from that ended up on Kulo during this, when the Scream happened. the Order of the Dust just all stayed together and basically continued to be a well-oiled military machine, and living on this planet. Yeah, just ruling it like that. So, but yeah, so we see the gang head off in separate directions, and I think I want to pick up first with Dylan. So Dylan, you took off with Ziva. Where are you going first? Just to like, I mean, I guess really the only thing you're like really buying was like either the Hush or the modded weapon. So where are you off to? I assume you're also probably helping Ziva buy stuff if she wants it. Though I'm not even entirely sure what she would even buy, because you guys have an armory and a ship's locker. So she has all the TL4 equipment she could possibly need just like for free.
I mean, she'll probably just buy a bunch of ice cream, right?
Right, yeah, probably. I mean, they don't have ice cream on this planet, let's be real.
I mean, mercenaries got to spend their money on something.
They don't have ice cream on this planet. Yeah. This is Sparta. Like, there's
no like food court equivalent.
No, there's a food court, but they just wouldn't have, like, I think if it's anything, it's like nutrient paste that has a slight vanilla flavor. Right? They don't have actual ice cream here.
But I mean, like, if they could just take the opportunity to make the money back immediately from the people they just paid, wouldn't they do that?
No one comes here to buy ice cream.
Well, no, but I mean, they live here, right? And so, yeah. I mean, for the sake of morale, you would want things that somebody who's just like on leave or on stopover could enjoy, right? I mean,
I guess.
I mean, even people in Sparta had to enjoy stuff sometimes. I mean, the way I heard it, they enjoyed things too much oftentimes. So I feel like it's, there's probably, I don't know, just saying.
I don't know.
Maybe not ice cream.
Ice cream for like specific cultural reasons in this, like ice cream just isn't.
I just don't think. Well, again, they had luxury. They had ice cream on the luxury ambassador cruiser thing that you guys were on last session. Right. But I feel like if you just walk, I don't know if you guys. Okay, this is I think the real answer is you guys don't know where to go to find ice cream, right? Like again, like it's just a military camp. Like it's like a fortress that you're in, and there's like obvious places to like buy like military grade stuff because that's what a lot of people come here to do. But like if you just ask around, like are you gonna go ask around a bunch of Order of the Dust soldiers where do we find ice cream?
Sure. Doesn't that sound like something we would do?
Have a cute little girl with us. It wouldn't seem that weird.
Okay, well, so we have this amusing vignette of like this, this montage of trying to find ice cream. We finally find it in some obscure food court somewhere.
He sneaks it to us like it's illegal. It's like, don't let anyone know.
Right, exactly. Yeah, don't let anyone know that I gave a little kid ice cream. Yeah, I'm supposed to be a big tough mercenary, but I'm actually a teddy bear.
It's like that song from Tangled where they go into the bar. It's like,
yeah.
Way deep down inside, I've got a dream.
Right. Yeah. some sort of ice cream merchant who secretly he's like a big tough soldier, but yeah.
I don't know what happened to my video.
I don't know. I just turned off right now.
I didn't do anything.
So Odiv was talking to Fergus for a little while there as everybody was like heading off. So I think this is all happening, right? And Dylan's trying to find ice cream for Ziva before you guys actually meet up. But I think, Ziva is like sitting down in this like abandoned, it's like an empty food court right now, right? And you guys are basically the only people in it. Ziva's like sitting on the chair eating ice cream. And I think basically what happens is Dylan, you maybe just like standing up and stretching or whatever, right? Like maybe you guys have been sitting for a while. And she's going through a giant plate, like bowl of ice cream. And we see Dylan like, stand up and stretch and walk a couple paces away. And then a single Order of the Dust soldier like comes around the corner and like walks in. And it's not immediately obvious that it's a female, but after just like a couple of seconds of just like glancing at her, you can tell that that just the weight shape of the armor is slightly different. And so but it's like full body armor, helmet and all, so you can't really see faces or anything. But this gal comes over in her armor, and it seems to like peg onto your like appearance like right away, and just like why what's up with this whole situation? Why is there just like a teenage girl and a preteen and he's eating ice cream in this random food court that's abandoned? She comes over and just
kid to work day.
Yeah, exactly. Just says to you, Dylan, "You visitor, what are you doing here?" Do you have a permit to be here?
Do we have to have a permit to be here?
As far as you know, no.
Okay, can I like make a roll to for sure know if we have to have?
Yeah. Roll. Well, there's a skill for that. Yeah, roll no.
I have my warrant right here. Get out of my way.
Right. And just this little paper that says I can do what I want.
It's just a ice cream receipt.
I'm a paying customer. Thank you very much.
I'm assuming it would be no with intelligence.
Yeah, I think so.
5. Yikes.
Well, no, you do not know. So, Dylan, I mean, you probably are just convinced by this, right? You're like, oh, crap. Oh, I didn't realize I needed a permit to be over here. Like, but you can respond however you want. But you like probably feel like a little sick to your stomach, like, oh, crap, we're not supposed to be here. Yeah, what do you say?
I don't know, because I think she'd just be really confused, because she'd be like, but we literally have like talked to a bunch of people already, and no one has said that we had to have a permit to be here.
Yeah. Yeah, so she probably just like sees your confusion and then just says like, this food court is closed and is off limits to just random visitors.
It's a food court.
But like, I think literally what happened is like you came here at like the end of whatever shift was happening here, and the guy like gave you ice cream from the like, you know, food stores in the back as he was like locking up the like food places. He gave no indication that you had to leave when he left the food court, right? But like there still is no one here, right? Except for you guys. So it's like everything here is like slate gray. So it's just like very like kind of boring, abandoned little like cafeteria area. But yeah, it's abandoned right now.
I don't know how she would respond in this situation.
I mean, is she just gonna push back, or is she gonna like just comply? I mean, those are your main two options. Or are you gonna ask? Try to like diplomatize and ask.
I mean, if Ziva already has her ice cream, she's probably just gonna be like, we were just on our way out.
Yeah. Yeah, and she doesn't seem satisfied with that. She like frown. Yeah, I guess you can't see faces, but she like holds out a hand like, I'm sorry, citizen. You're going to have to answer a few preliminary questions, just standard routine. But I just want to make sure that everything is up and up here.
This is bothering me as a player, just because I hate when people say things like that.
I know, me too. Me too. Yeah, and if you don't say anything immediately, she like goes right into the questions and then says just like, do you have metadimensional extroversion syndrome? So it brings up a little like tablet thing on like her armor, her bracer, and like starts like typing in some stuff.
I'm assuming that means like psychic powers.
Yeah.
That's the MES thing, right?
Yep.
I don't think Dylan would know what that actually stands for. So I think she'd be like, no, I don't know what that is.
Are you a psychic, ma'am?
Oh, no.
Okay. Yeah. She doesn't say anything, and then she just says, what's the relationship of this child to you?
I think she probably just says that she's like her cousin or something. Because I mean, she basically is like she's from the same planet, and she's
sure,
like,
yeah, we're all cousins there, yeah.
Yeah.
Inbreeding is, it all.
No.
As the population dies off. Yeah, and she types something.
Like she's basically gonna play it off like I'm here with my uncle and this is my cousin, kind of a thing. Like, yeah.
So she types something else in and then says, and what is your business on Kulo besides getting ice cream? Or I guess she wouldn't say that. She's like, besides acquiring sweets for this child.
It's like you bought her drugs or something.
Right, yeah. Yeah, no, the whole thing is really weird.
I mean, she's just gonna play it off like I'm just here with my uncle. Like,
yeah,
okay. I'm not.
Make a talk roll then. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I'm not here for my own personal business, kind of a thing, which is true because we're here on Evelyn's business.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead and make a talk roll with charisma.
Probably not going to go very well. Okay, that's not too bad.
Yeah, it's not super bad. So she seems to be weighing the answers in her mind, and then she says, "The only last thing I'll have to ask you is, I'm gonna have to ask that you permit or submit yourself to a routine search of your person."
Come on.
You can tell that Carly and I don't like the TSA.
Yes. Or just any violations of basic human rights.
Basic human rights, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do we know what like laws this planet has against like?
You can make a no roll.
Okay. So I was gonna say, like, if the
main issue, the main issue is it's Dylan, right?
Laws, she wouldn't bring stuff with her,
right? Yeah, the main issue is it's Dylan, and Dylan is like the least knowledgeable of like the sector of the crew, so she might just not have thought of it, and I don't think she thought of it in this instance. Yeah, so you probably think like, ooh, crap, like I guess this is just something they can do.
What would I roll to see how long it takes me to figure out where they went? Since I was going to
probably
meet
exert.
up with them, and there was only a few minutes behind them. Okay. Well, actually, I don't know how long it took to make a fake account. So
yeah, you can make an exert roll though.
Where I collapsed all my menus. Now I can't find it. Here we go.
With strength, probably though.
Exert. There. Yikes.
Yeah. So.
I got a 4 and a 1.
This exchange is going to be pretty brief, so I don't think you'll show up before it's over. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you submit yourself to the routine inspection?
I don't. The thing is, I don't have that many options here because, like, she could do so. And then probably get herself in more trouble. Or she could refuse and probably get herself in more trouble.
Mm-hmm.
So, like...
Yeah, I mean, because the last thing you want to do... You guys just got on planet, so the last thing you want to do is just start beating up random Order of the Dust soldiers, right?
Yeah. If only I had done better on just one of those no rolls.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Yeah, I guess she's like, okay, fine. That seems illegal, but fine.
Mm-hmm. All right, sounds good. Give me 1 second. We'll make a notice roll against that sneak roll.
Great.
That actually wasn't very good.
Who's gonna have different female character other than Chloe Lasmos to hate? Notice with intelligence?
Yeah. Or wisdom, I guess. One of those.
Which one?
Probably wisdom.
They're both the same, so yeah. 8.
Ooh, tie. Oh, what happens? What even happens on tie? I don't even know in this game.
This tie goes
tie rolls.
Sure.
The event to the defender.
Typically, that is how that works in most games, but I don't know if it's true here. Let me see. Oh, here we go. Skill checks. All right. So versus. So no, normally it's like you meet the obstacle, obviously. What a versus test. Let's just both roll again. Oh,
No. Why?
Ties go to the PCs.
do they? Is
In
that
such cases, all participants roll their relevant skills and highest score wins, with ties going to the PC.
got it? Okay, perfect. If there's a roll, then we're going with it. good for you, Carly. Yeah. So what happens is you notice that this gal puts some sort of device on your person, right? She's trying to pretend to pat you down, and instead she's actually placing something on you.
Wow.
And you notice this.
Okay. I probably just let her think that she's succeeded.
Got it. Yeah.
I don't say anything.
I'm trying to think if it would require a roll for you to keep a straight face, though. Possibly. Yeah, let's go with that. I think I would. I don't know if Dylan's terribly good at that sort of stuff, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
So I think it's just reverse now. You're gonna make a sneak roll, and she's gonna make a notice.
Great. Sneak with what?
Ooh, that was really bad. With charisma, probably.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. And you still got lower. Yeah. So she notices that you notice.
Noticing you.
I'm trying to think of I'm trying to think what you do about it, right?
Right.
So she stops, right? And she just says, "Excuse me, citizen, do you have a problem?"
Oh gosh, does she get mouthy or not?
If you really can't decide, you can make a mental save for yourself.
Oh yeah, I think that's what she does. Oh gosh. Yikes.
Horrible failure.
Okay. Well, what did she say?
Yes, I do have a problem with you violating my basic rights. You should also point out specifically the tracker or whatever it is she put on you.
Yeah. I think she just says, yes, I thought you were doing a search on me, not planting something on me.
I don't know what you're talking about, citizen.
Can you just pull the device off and hold it up to her?
She looks at you and says, "Well, that's a weird thing to have on you."
I hate her.
And I think honestly, this is actually about the time that Ode shows up, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Is Ode jogs in, probably saying something.
There you
like,
are. I have been to 12 food courts.
Exactly. And I think literally what happens is the way that this is all. So actually, Dylan, what I want you to do is make a notice roll for me.
Giving me so much anxiety. With what attributes?
Wisdom. Oh my gosh. She got a 4.
Ooh.
So Dylan, she tries to use this distraction to teleport away.
Oh.
But you notice it. And Ode does too, I think, just because of how obvious she makes it. Okay. So Ode, you start jogging in, and it looks like the gal tries to use your appearance in such a way and to notice you in time where you can't see her, and Dylan's turning away from her to look at you, and so she can just teleport away and no one just disappear into the night.
Right.
But what instead ends up happening is she Dylan looks back at her suddenly as before she even teleports away, because so she looks at you briefly and then looks back because you're suspicious or whatever of this girl. And then you come around the corner and you can see her hesitate for a moment, like the Order of the Dust Soldier, hesitate, and then just pop out of existence, just boop, and is gone.
Holy, what? Who's that?
And then we see Ziva with an ice cream cone just drop it like, or like the scoop that she has like rolls off onto the ground as she like tips it down. What?
Hey, Caleb.
Yeah.
Did you make teleport lady a bioscion as well?
That's what I was wondering.
I mean, she was wearing an Order of the Dust costume. It doesn't even matter.
Yeah, she's
No
in
one
like
saw her
full,
face.
full
Yeah.
body armor.
Yeah, but she didn't like try
It took
and
me a second to recognize that she was female. So
Yeah.
she didn't try and like suck on your toes or anything weird. So it must not have been her. Yeah. So yeah, who was that? You right?
yeah,
I mean,
she just.
We don't
she's
expect
just like,
them to be on this planet, right? So
No.
okay. Sorry, go ahead.
well, wouldn't we? Because we know that they have the location of Vigo, right?
Yeah, but I think we were under the impression they were on that place, that station, because that was how we found out that it was there at all. So them being here is kind of weird, I think, right?
Pretty quick, yeah.
So I don't know how common a teleporting psychic is, but I don't know if my first assumption would be that it was that lady or not. I don't know how reasonable that assumption would be.
Yeah.
But sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
The voice didn't seem familiar, but she might have been modulating her voice or something, or the helmet might have been.
Was she larger than?
I had a split second thought of like it could just as easily have been Ada, but Ada's deaf, so she would not pull it off as well.
Yeah.
That was my thought at first too, but I was like, wait, no, that's all right.
Yeah, I mean, she just explains the situation to Ode. She was like, I thought she was just a military member asking me questions, but I'm not sure anymore. She tried to plant a device on me, and she hands it over to him.
Can I mean, this is certainly not what I'm good at. Can I try and see what it is?
Yeah, make a no roll to see if you know.
Great. Okay.
With intelligence. Ode thinks it's a rock.
Yeah, I literally have no idea what this is.
Some sort of little device of some sort, little metal piece.
Okay.
And Dylan, not much more. I mean, again, little metal piece that's supposed to stick on your clothing or whatever.
Right.
Really difficult to tell what it does. So
maybe Fergus will know though. We should hold on to this because, I mean, yeah, I don't know. We're gonna want to know what that was about. Well, I mean, if we shouldn't take it with us if we leave, but yeah, maybe not back to the ship.
Yeah.
Do we have communications? Is that a thing?
We have
instant telepathy.
Yeah.
At all times.
Oh, jeez. Right, of course we do. Yeah. So I guess I'm like, we could have just used that a minute ago. Instead of me checking 12 food courts. So yeah, I'm like,
I mean, she probably gave you bad directions, right? Maybe Dylan didn't even know where she was, really.
That's true. Yeah, it's like, hey, Fergus, are you there? Is your psychic phone on?
Yeah.
Cool. You're not on the toilet, are you? I'll interrupt.
No, I'm busy haggling. What's up?
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, we got some lady tried to plant something on Dylan, and it looks like a sparkly rock to me. So you should come figure out what it is. I don't. Okay. I mean, I don't know.
Don't bring it on the boat. So.
Ship. What? Till says in the background.
Yeah.
But I mean, how are you gonna find out what it is if I dump it?
Well, no, I will come to you.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, well, we're at a food court, and I look around for some landmark.
Yeah, and so you give him directions, and I think probably what happens. So Fergus, you were figuring out some sort of thing with Till. Let's say Till maybe just like bought his drones, and you're walking, and Till just comes with you, to go check out what they're doing. And maybe you guys get in a little space taxi or whatever. Not space taxi, but like hover taxi. And Till, it looks like you can tell, Fergus, that Till's been wanting to say something to you for the entire time you've been on this like little shopping trip, but he's like trying to figure out how to say it. In typical Till fashion, he doesn't quite have the right words yet, in his gruff manner. Do you try to say anything first, or do you wait for him to figure out how to say it?
I noticed that he's all.
Yeah. I think it's more or less obvious.
What's up, Phil?
No. No, nothing really. Fergus, I'm worried about you.
How so?
You know, it's one thing to mess with psychic powers and get me sick with horrible tasting food, and
that hasn't happened in a while.
Yes, what I mean to say is, mischief is one thing, and it was annoying, but fine. But I'm worried that it's getting more dangerous for you, and the things you're trying are going to get you killed. You're 13, for Greek swear word here sake, or whatever that is, whatever epithet that would be.
I mean, really, I'm like 20 basically now.
But you're not. That's the thing, Fergus. Yeah. You're not. You are still a 13-year-old child. And I'm not your dad. I know that. All right. I get it. But I don't want you getting yourself killed, kid. All right.
I mean, I'm not dead yet.
You're trying to build.
Like, why am I quoting movies I don't know?
All right, yeah.
That's almost like you have another brain in your head, and one of them is a meme.
Yeah, one of them is an ancient goddess, and the other is a meme. The two sides of the duality of Fergus.
Evangelion's like, oh, I love that movie.
As far as Fergus knows, one is an ancient goddess and one is an ancient god.
Right, yeah, but yeah, I feel like that is the duality of Fergus. It's like ancient deity, and on the other spectrum, on the side of the spectrum, it's meme.
I'm here for the Evangelia and Rick Astley romance that happens in the novella offshoot.
The spin-off show that happens entirely in Fergus's mind, and it's like WandaVision, but like Rick Astley and Evangelia. That's amazing.
So what I'm hearing is I shouldn't go for my whole subquest of seeing if they have a bunch of, or any, psychics prisoner and then absorbing all of their nanites. Shouldn't do that.
I'm sorry, what? What was that?
I was gonna see if they had like any like psychics, like in prison for like bad stuff. Then I was gonna steal their nanobots. Is that a bad idea?
I mean, yeah, probably. Listen, Fergus, I say all of this, and obviously I don't understand what the world that you come from is even like. I'm not a psychic. I didn't even really know anyone with MES before this.
They raised me like a god, but I knew that was all nonsense. But now I do have like a god in my brain.
And I think that religious upbringing might be going to your head, is all I'm saying. I want you to pace yourself, all right? I don't want... You literally jumped out of the Exarch and connected your brain to a ancient sci-tech device that probably could have killed you, probably should have killed you. I don't know how you survived that. Eventually, one of these times you're going to die. And I don't want to be around to see that. I want to stop it if I can.
That would be kind of a waste. I'm like theoretically immortal at this point.
What?
What?
What do you mean? Actually immortal?
Like I don't age. Well, I mean, as long as I don't get exploded into a million pieces. But I don't age. I control my age.
Like, I think Till is just at a loss for words. Like, he literally does not know how to like deal with any of this. And I think honestly, like part of this conversation is like Till dealing with the most obvious source of overwhelming for him. But like all of you have this in some sense, and he's just like, he's a normal person, and literally all of the rest of you except for like Ziva are now psychics, and you're all like involved in all of this stuff, and he is literally just a space trucker, and so he's just like little overwhelmed and just kind of taking it out on you in this moment. Like he's really speaking as the dad figure for all of you right now, and so I think he takes a moment to like find his words again, and he just says,
"But yeah, I'll try to tone it back." That last,
thank you.
I did almost die. This last time. Well, the first time and the last time.
Thank you, Fergus. I worry that I'm enabling a bunch of kids to get themselves killed, and you know that's not necessarily something I want in my conscience. I just want you to pace yourself. Don't take so many stupid risks. All right. Are you trying to build the Hephaestus engine like for real? Is that actually happening?
Well, yeah.
Why? Is there any particular reason why you need the Hephaestus engine?
I mean, use it to power our ship, just thinking we could never get caught.
And I think that's like the one line of inquiry that actually would interest Till, and he pauses momentarily, and then he says, No, we don't need the Hephaestus engine to power the ship. The Void's Grace is fine. I mean, I guess we could.
I mean, it's a great ship, but you know, we're being hunted by like half the universe at this point, and who knows what Oda's getting up to right now. It might be Order of the Dust might be after us. But
how dare!
and I think literally like you're saying this stuff, and then I think. Till doesn't quite understand still how the psychic link works, and so he just starts thinking into the psychic link, and then you hear his thought basically just be like, I could get those or what do they call the oversized weapon fittings or whatever. We could actually have the power to put a bigger gun on the Void's. I mean, did I dang it, I don't know how this works. No, Fergus, we don't. You should get rid of those plans. You shouldn't have.
Well, I mean, I can't really get rid of them. They're in my brain.
Why do you need to make this harder for all of us, Fergus, is really the question I'm asking. Are you trying to get us dragged into your messes too?
I mean, I don't think...
Are you trying to get Ziva, Dylan, dragged into this? Now, Evelyn,
that was kind of decided for us the second we had the Hephaestus engine stolen from us.
And then you can see on his face that Till's just like, oh, right, yeah, no, you're right. Actually, this is all my fault because I let this sort of craziness happen in the first place. We took the Hephaestus engine job on my order.
I see that. And I'm like, hey, you're not the one who told the people who stole it from us exactly where it was and brought them onto our ship. That wasn't you. This isn't on you.
I don't remember doing that, but I'm sure I did. Sure, that was
you literally did. Yes, yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Oh, you're the only reason I'm still alive, and not an evil alien AI. Or, well, not alien, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
And I'm literally trying to think of like where he would, because I think he wants to leave the conversation on a good note, unifying note, something like that. But I don't know exactly what he'd say. Did you guys have something else that you were gonna say?
No.
Okay. Yeah, so maybe he's trying to think of the words to like wrap up the conversation, and then that's when you like get there, right? And so he just doesn't have the chance. Yeah. So Fergus, I mean, do you want to like figure out what this tracking device is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll
make a no roll.
Meeting up now? Or?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah.
Sorry, just a second.
Yeah, so you can make a no.
I'm going
no
to commit effort for to roll what's her faces though.
Okay, yeah. So +4 as the skill. Yeah, 12 is fine. I mean, it's basically a combination tracking device and like neutralization device. So like she'd be able to find Dylan, and she'd be able to, if she pressed the right button on her device, whatever links to this, she'd be able to like paralyze her momentarily. And that's basically all. The plan probably would have been to kidnap Dylan at some point to like go interrogate her, bring her to crawl, whatever that would be. But yeah, that seems like the intention. And I guess you technically don't know at this point that it's Alex, but that's the assumption you could make.
Yeah, I feel like that would be Dylan's guess.
Alex is the teleportation lady?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And not her deaf one?
No.
Okay. She's a bioscion too?
Well, she was in probably
she was in full armor.
Yeah, but her voice sounded weird, but that could just be a modulator. But let's be honest, she's probably a bioscion.
I mean, I'm pretty sure you unlocked that at only Bioscion 2.
Yeah, although, Caleb did say she didn't have any method of surviving if we killed her. So if she is a bioscion, she's not a powerful one. Not to...
I mean,
Bioscion
like level 2 is even pretty ridiculous.
Right, but that's what I mean. Is she must not have anything that does that, because he said
you need 4 to
survive
dying.
Yeah, but like I said, I mean, characters don't know that, so it doesn't matter. But
well, Fergus might.
Well, he would know what level you need to be, but he wouldn't know if she was that level necessarily. Is what I mean.
Yeah.
What? I guess not. Yeah. I think you can get +4 in 2 things, right? If you focus on just those 2 things.
I'm not sure. I'm not super familiar with the scaling for psychic powers.
You might be able to. If you saved enough skill points, you might be able to, yeah.
Yeah. Because I have a 3, a 2, and a +1.
Yeah, I mean, it also costs exponentially amount. Or not exponentially, but like more. Definitely more.
Mm-hmm. Depending on how... I still don't know how psychic training level 2 works, so we'll figure that out.
Yeah.
It's
cool.
just
I mean,
worded so stupid.
It is, yeah. It's a little confusing. Is there anything else you wanted to do with the tracker at all?
Could I like reverse
track it?
Ooh, no. I want to. I'm going. Ooh, she knows we have it, though, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So putting it on like a random person's ship won't really do anything. Yeah, I'll try to reverse hack it.
Sure. Yeah. Make a program roll. With intelligence.
Well, we're probably not going to get to anything else, so I will just commit effort again.
Yeah.
14.
Yeah. So you reverse track it to a what looks like on the planet a like abandoned, maybe not abandoned, but like not very used warehouse. Somewhere in the lower district of this like city structure that's hanging above the ocean.
How much does a pseudo nuke cost?
Oh, what?
Pseudo nuke?
You're gonna send a pseudo nuke to the warehouse?
Yeah,
I'm sure that'll go really well with the Order of the Dust people.
They'll be fine. Of course, the problem is that all this work we're having done on our stuff is going to take some time, so we don't have it right now. And I've already changed all of it, so I don't have the old information anymore. I don't want to have to change it back. So let's not attack them until we have our stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh wait, I'm going to call. Oh, dude, I'm a genius. I'm gonna call the dude we talked to. On
which dude is that?
The dude we bartered with for the ship, the big ship that we sold the big ship to, and all the other
The
stuff.
Order of the Dust guy.
Yeah.
Oh, the ambassador guy.
Yeah.
Sure.
I call him up. I'm like, hey, it's Fergus.
Yes, this is the flight speaking. Who am I speaking? Yeah.
Fergus.
That guy.
Fergus
Yes.
McIken-Ingernhale.
Yes, of course. What can I do for you, Fergus?
So you know how I sold you information on a Imperium, space station in your system?
Yes. It's very interesting. We actually look into it already.
How much would you give me for a base that's on your planet?
Probably quite a good amount. And I would like to point out we did check out the space station and it was abandoned, so stripped clean. Actually, I'm not entirely sure your information was accurate, or all I'm going to say here, Fergus, is I would like some extra collateral and proof that this is actually what you say it is.
Well, seeing as how they were quick enough to get out of here, you can have this one for freezies. I sent him the information.
Sounds good. I suppose we'll check
one
it
of
out.
them tried to put this tracker on us, but I reverse hacked the signal. So here you go. I suggest getting people over there literally now because they can teleport, and they can tell she's powerful enough to teleport a whole group.
Make a talk roll for me. I feel like there's a part of this that could be suspicious to him, or like you're just trying to get him to do police work for you or something, right? Like, so yeah, you can make a talk roll.
Does Evangelia have a good talk?
No, we already went through this. She literally sat in a chair for 1,000 years. So,
do I get a bonus for having the 14 programming roll?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, 10.
I think 10's fine. I think that was the difficulty. Yeah, it's not too big of an ask, but so he says, all right, well, no promises, but I'll send this to command and they'll probably check it out themselves. I'm sure they'll be interested.
I don't think you want extremely powerful, Imperium psychics.
No, of course not. No, if they're actually on
hopping around
planet, then no.
Dressed up as your officers,
Oh, dressed up as an officer. Well, that is a bit of a more escalated situation. All right, well, we'll send someone to check it out. Thank you kindly.
Dude. Sorry that they managed to clear out before your people got there, but as I said, she can teleport.
Yes. All right. Well, farewell.
Pleasure doing business with you.
Likewise. And then, clicks off. Cool. So I think let's cut away to Evelyn's scene, right? Evelyn, you show up to this so, I mean, again, Lakulo, you're on this city Camino style, giant structure hanging above the ocean. You're deep in the recesses of it at this point, and to some random apartment, right? In the middle of nowhere, in the middle of a series of long corridors that just contain a variety of apartments like this for long retired soldiers, right? Who just have lived out the rest of their lives on a not so great pension. And you come up to this kind of not dank, but dark corridor, and there's a door here. Apartment 463B.
Okay.
Knocking door, ring doorbell. What do you do?
Yeah, I'll just knock on the door.
Yeah, and I think you hear. I've already forgotten the name I made for this guy. I wrote it in chat up here somewhere. Yeah, you just hear a woman yell out, Evo! Evo, someone's here! Get the door! And then there's some shuffling and cursing in Portuguese, I think. And he, as this guy opens the door, and you probably saw his picture or whatever, right? His Facebook profile. He's, old, retired soldier type. Maybe he's like late 50s. And he seems to have like a limp, a slight limp on his left leg. Has a scar, down his face. And he says, "Yes, what do you want? Who are you?"
Heard that you specialize in Cymex.
You're actually answering the ad. It's been 3 years since I posted that. Yeah, I suppose I still have it in storage somewhere. I'm sorry, who are you exactly? You don't look Order the Dust.
My name is, I can decide if she wants to say General Leidner or if that's too conspicuous. She probably just says, Evelyn, nice to meet you. Holds out her hand.
Yeah, he shakes it. Evelyn, you're a little young to be buying a Cymac, aren't you?
No, I'm not.
And then he frowns, and then he seems to be like, he just blinks, looks into the distance for a second, and he looks back at you and he says, Evelyn Leidner. Interesting. So you're what the peak of the program ended up being. Fascinating.
Work for Paragon Science.
Well, I used to. That's really how I got the Cymac in the first place. But I was hired out to Order the Dust. I don't need to go into the details yet. For whatever reason, yes, I worked for Paragon before. So, you're here on behalf of Paragon, come to claim an old Cymac that you want to use again? Sure, yeah, I guess, if you're willing to pay for it.
Yes, I am willing to pay in full.
And he
Can you please show me to the...
He smirks a little bit for no discernible reason, but you're not sure. Yeah. Oh, yes, no, yeah. Storage garage. It's a little bit of a walk. Let me grab my key card. Give me just a moment. And he comes back. He goes back in, and you hear some like shouting again. Like the wife is like, Evo, who was that? Sounded like a pretty woman. No, it was nothing. It's nothing, Margaret. Nothing at all. Someone trying to buy the Cymac. Oh, thank goodness. It's been 3 years. Finally, I can store my antique doll collection in there instead. And then he sighs and says, "Is that
collection?" They're about to come into 3 million credits.
And it's a heavy mech, and she's going to put dolls there? How many dolls? So many dolls.
Yeah, I think like he probably hasn't told her how much of this thing is actually worth.
Yeah.
And because he apparently doesn't care about the money, as we've established with this character off screen. He didn't want to sell this in the first place. But yeah, so they argue for a little bit more, and then he comes out with his little key card. He has like a little lanyard, strings around his neck, and he says, "The name is Evo Marias, by the way. Since I know your full name only fair. All right, this way." And he starts limping down the hallway. It'll take just a second to get there. It's on the lower level. So hard to find anything, these dang corridors. So, you're a precog.
Correct. And you are?
I am... what?
Are you a precog also?
Well, yes, of course I am. You saw the listing. Why would I have a precog Cymac if I wasn't a precog?
To sell to a precog.
Well, why would I have a Cymac if I didn't have any use for it? People just don't keep Cymacs in their garage for no reason.
She's like, it feels like she's talking to like an idiot, and it's like, but you're selling it.
Yes, well, of course I am. I guess. I wasn't expecting anyone to pay $3 million for it, but
you're not very good at bargaining. Are you, Evo?
And he looks back and has a little smirk on his face. I don't know. Are you going to buy it for $3 million? 60,000 credits for the processing fee, of course. Credit cards and all these days.
I feel like at this point they'd surpass
Yeah,
processing.
He's
fees,
probably
but-
making a joke, yeah.
Yeah, I think she says, let's just analyze the goods first, shall we?
Oh, of course. I want to test out the merchandise. No, you're not going to be pointing the finger of God at anything, right? I share this store. I share the storage unit with my aunt. She lives 3 doors down.
Okay.
Just telling you not to blow up her stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So he like just swipes the little key card, opens up the little like garage in the middle of this like dark basement.
Yeah.
Shovels in and grabs this little tarp, takes it off, and yeah, I mean it's old and dusty and stuff, but like it still looks and like it at least looks in working condition.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I think she just gets in it.
You just get in it right away.
Yep.
Now listen, I said don't point the finger of God at anything, all right? Please don't shoot anything.
I've done extensive research into the finger of God and into the into the mesh knife. I'm quite certain I am capable of not destroying your house or anything inside it.
This isn't my house. This is a storage unit. My house, I don't have a house. I have a crappy apartment in the middle of nowhere. But
Okay.
thanks for the sentiment, I suppose. So what do you need? Go ahead.
Never mind.
So what do you need this for, General Leidner? Some great war somewhere.
I'd prefer not to say.
But eventually I will get it out of you, even if I have to use Oracle several times.
How does it feel, Connor?
I think she just doesn't know what to say to that, and it's like
Eventually I'll
in
find
her head she's like,
Yeah.
you can use Oracle all you want. There's no universe in which I tell you anything. And
He's like, I think he says, eventually I'll find the universe where I say the right thing.
right. Yeah, she just doesn't respond and just gets in the mech and just like make sure all the buttons work and that it functions properly. And she
and it does. Yeah.
doesn't point the finger of God at anything.
Good.
And then she just gets out and it's like, yep, I think that'll do.
Good.
Do you have any extra? Do you have an ability to put any more pieces into this?
What do you mean by pieces? You got to use the lingo, Leidner. You're a soldier now.
What?
They're called mods.
Okay. Will you be able to install the grab chutes or drop sheathing?
I can probably install them if you get them for me.
I already have them. And she just like
Okay, yeah, I mean, it will take a couple of hours, and I have Pilates in 30 minutes, so...
This is my favorite.
But yeah, I suppose I can get them. I'll get them to you by 6 p.m. tomorrow. Of course, there are 48 hours on this world, so that's actually pretty late. But
I think she's like, I thought you said it would take a couple of hours.
well, I mean, it's going to take a couple of hours when I actually have the chance to do it. But I have Pilates in 30 minutes, and then I'm taking my wife out for a breakfast date with some old soldier buddies of mine, and my days are
She's
all
like,
tied up.
it's okay. I'll just wait here, and she just like sits down.
You're just going to sit there until I finish it.
Of course, I want to see how you work on it.
You don't have anything else to do while I go to Pilates.
Nope.
You could go to Pilates with them.
He just frowns and he says, okay, the thought of you just like sitting down here is super creepy. So I'll just go ahead and skip Pilates for today. and I'll get it done in, let's say, an hour.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, he starts grumbling and starts working on it. Like, and I think like while he's working on it, he's it's very talkative. So I think at one point he just says, "So you don't actually work for Paragon anymore, do you?"
Nope.
So what's the mission now? What's the war, Athena?
Just games. Just turns a page. Oh yeah, I think she's like reading a book. I didn't mention that, and then I just commented on that without saying anything.
Yeah,
just like Evelyn would.
I mean, there's probably some like old actual physical book in here somewhere, right?
Yeah,
you can grab.
I think she's just
Or like
she's just reading.
manual to this thing or something.
Oh yeah, the old like
she's
manual.
she's reading the owner's manual. Yes.
Yeah. He's like, they called me crazy when they wanted a printout of that, but I'm not so crazy anymore, am I? Not after all of my data got wiped out. At least I have the owner's manual still. And then I think at one point he just stops, right? And he like sets down his like multi-tool and looks back at you, and he says, "What's a 16-year-old girl doing with this? Why do you need to obliterate your enemies, Evelyn?"
I assume I don't need to answer that question, so I shall decide not to.
And he blinks again. And he frowns. And he says, "Oh, I'm sorry, girl." And he just turns back.
What do you say?
He says, "Oh, I'm sorry, girl." And he just turns back to his working.
Weird.
He like blinked for a moment, and then he said that and went back to his work.
Okay.
Do you know what a high-level precog can do, Evelyn?
Enlighten me.
Well, we see into the future. Except we see much, much farther than anyone else. And when you live to be as old as I do, you start to realize something. The future is pretty dang fixed. Sure, I guess a random accident, a star exploding at the wrong time can change things, but there's something deeper at work. What our abilities can do, they expand our minds. They let us see possibilities. They don't actually let us gaze into the future. But there's something to it, because it's always determined pretty firmly. I've been using it a lot these days, just because I'm curious about this and that. And human nature is pretty fixed, too. People tend to do the same thing they've always done. They tend to act according to their natures, and all of our natures suck. So, things go pretty badly. But around you, there's change. Lots and lots of change. More than I've ever seen before, and I'm a level 4 precog. You'd think it'd be centered around me, but no, I'm just an old coot stuck in his ways, and I won't change the future even if I see something I don't like. But you... I see some pretty bad things. And just a moment ago, I saw something pretty bad. But you're Evelyn frickin' Leidner, so maybe you'll change it. I hope you do.
Here.
And what is it you just saw?
Now, if I told you that, it would change everything, wouldn't it? Don't want to mess with the space-time continuum anymore than we have to.
she just like doesn't understand this person at all.
Yeah.
This person is like the most confusing, like she just does not understand any part of this conversation.
Mm-hmm. And I think he is like rambling a bit here, but I think he just suddenly stops again, sets down his tool, and he says, "Why should you win, Evelyn? Why are you the right choice here?"
Why should I win?
It's you versus Crawl, right? That's the struggle going on here, and your friends on your side, his lackeys on his side. It's a titanic struggle, and it's really going to decide the fate of this sector and all of the sectors, actually, the whole galaxy, turns out. But why should you be the winner? Yeah, sure, the Imperium sucks, but we all suck. So what's the difference? Why? Why you, General Leidner?
I think she just like I think she just like, okay, actually let me ask you this first.
Mm-hmm.
Is he not showing any signs of like visions? Because like normally I'd be able to see it, right?
No, he can't like show it to you.
No, I don't mean that. I mean, like, can't she see like a visible representation of him, like looking into the future? Can't she like see that he's doing that?
I've been describing it the whole time. Every time
when he blinks,
yeah.
Okay, but Evelyn doesn't do it like that.
Yeah, but that's
okay.
You're Evelyn.
Okay, all right. I was trying to figure out what exactly was happening there.
Yeah. The main thing that's happening here is he's a level 4 precog, and I'm giving him like extraordinary insight because he's really good at it. Yeah, so he asks, why you, General Leidner? And it's like, I mean, I don't know if Evelyn actually gets it. You know what, Evelyn, make a notice with charisma for me.
A notice with charisma.
Or notice with wisdom. You can do that too. Because, I mean, Evelyn's not terribly good at reading people, but I think she might be able to catch the right thing here. Yeah, I think 10's just good enough. He's asking you almost as if he has the power to decide. Right? Right? Almost as if he can tip something in your favor or in Crawl's favor.
Okay. Yeah, I think she just says, you want me to prove that I'm worthy of winning?
Sure, if you want to put it that way.
What to you makes someone worthy of something?
I'm a soldier. I'm pretty simple. What makes someone worthy of winning is doing it for the right reasons. Why do you want to win? Is it about you? Do you want to get rich? Or is it about something else? I fought for a lot of causes I don't believe in. I'm not proud of them. The one time I did fight for a cause I believed in, it was the best time of my life. Finally, I felt my violence was a virtue and not a vice.
I think she thinks back to all the old rom-coms that she watched that one episode, and she says, I'm doing it for love.
Oh, sorry. This frail little body can't take much anymore. I'm sorry. Did you say for love?
She doesn't say anything. And at this point, she's like closed the book and set it down, or
Yeah.
the manual.
Yeah, and all he does is he just goes, and then he turns back, twists one more thing with the multi-tool, and then like, all right, she is done. I named her Nancy, by the way. So I mean, you can name her wherever you want after you have her, but she'll always be my little Nance. Don't tell my wife I said that though. Yeah. Anyway, all yours. If you can, I mean, you're gonna have to find something to transport her out of here. You'll probably have to hire a porter robot or something like that. But all yours if you can get it out. He stands up.
Okay. What is it you're not telling me, Evo?
Oh, I'm not telling you a lot of things, but that's my way. You know, old man keeping his secrets.
I think she uses Oracle.
Okay, yeah.
What is he not telling me?
How far can you look in the future?
3 months. So I could literally spend 3 months just coming back to this guy and wearing him down.
Mhm. The thing he's not telling you is, so I guess you can see, like, you see this in like a minute of vision. I think all you see. So I think it's weird. Usually you have to see these things focused on yourself, right?
Okay.
But for whatever reason this time, and you're not sure how it's explained to you, all you see is him sitting at his like little tape, little pull-out table from the wall in his little crappy sci-fi apartment, drinking like a bad cup of coffee. And he blinks once, and you can tell this is like several days after you guys have even, after this conversation. And you see him blink, and you know that he used prophecy, the 4th level precog ability, to basically try to give you the edge by like, he's going to do this because he liked your answer. Like that was actually the right answer. He's just an old man, so he's trying to mess with you too.
So he's going to use prophecy to help me win?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I thought he was a level 3 precog.
He's level 4.
Holy crap.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah.
And so you don't know how you saw it because there's no real reason you would ever even be there at this point, right? It's not even that you came back to wear him down, but that's what you see. And you don't know how you know, but you know that in that blink he used prophecy, which is like the highest level precog ability to basically, tilt the scale in your favor. But yeah, he doesn't say anything to you. He doesn't give you any indication that he liked your answer. He just, says, all right, it's all yours. And then he starts to leave.
I think
if he notices that you're using precog yourself, he doesn't say anything.
Okay, yeah. Huh. Yeah, okay. I think yeah, I think she just like looks at him and just like doesn't know what to say. And then just like says like thank you.
For what? Having you get me rich?
You know what for. And she just like smiles at him like you can't pass this off on me. Like I know what's up.
He gives you a grimace. He's like, "Oh, girl, you do not know how to smile yet. Got to work on that a little bit."
That's funny.
Yeah. And he just leaves.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Cool.
Yeah, she just leaves.
Yeah, I think that's where we end our episode.
Okay.
I think the last shot we see though is like we see that same shot of him like drinking his coffee. And I don't think Evelyn saw this in her vision, but we just hear him say, "Love, dang fool girl." She's right though, but fool all the same. And then we see his like wife come over, and she starts to be like, "Eva, did you buy me this?" And like she holds up like this ridiculously probably expensive like beautiful necklace, that he like set on her dresser or something, and he just like holds up coffee and says, "Love you, Margaret." And
It's almost like he knew he was going to make $3 million.
Exactly right. Yeah. And she just says, "You old coot." And then she just, we just fade out there as she like leans in for a kiss or something. There you go. That's our episode of Elysian Road.
Weird. Okay.
Yep. Every once in a while, I want to give you a little gift,
Interesting.
The 4 million credits isn't enough.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do or say.
Mm-hmm. That's perfectly okay. All right, cool. That's been episode 19 of Elysian Road. We'll go ahead and end here and then do a after show. Stick around after this or, on Patreon to check that out. We're out. Adios.